Castle of Otranto News, where we give you the first story, Brutal.
I'm your host, Jermaine Leafington.
And I'm Sally Smith. Well, we're here at one of London's most prestigious colleges for singers,
Woodhouse College.
and we're going to see how smart they really are with their knowledge about the Gothic.
Have they Gothic what it takes? So we found some kids with nothing better to do, and we asked them about Gothic lit and what they learned.
I haven't read any Gothic books. But when I was in like year 6, I read Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
You two guys.
Okay, yeah, no.
Gothic literature. What's that?
Well, obviously they don't seem like the cleverest kids, but here at BB Castle of Otranto, we changed that.
So we're here with the professor. Now we've learned a little bit about the Gothic, but let's make that a lot. So what does Gothic literature teach us about religion?
Gothic literature was written for a religious audience, so it often teaches us that if you go against religion, for example, playing God as seen in Frankenstein, you will need to pay the price and learn your lesson. However, it also makes people question if religion and God are real, as science is gaining the power to control things such as life and death.
So that was really fascinating, but how's science presented in Gothic literature?
Science is usually portrayed as something evil. For example, in Jekyll and Hyde, it is Dr. Jekyll's experiment which creates his fully evil alter ego, Mr. Hyde. This eventually leads to his downfall. This shows us that society at the time were afraid of science.
Yes, so can you give any examples of this?
The Monk, published in 1796, teaches us about the corruption of the church. Ambrosio, who is the protagonist, sells his soul to the devil to avoid being tortured by the Spanish Inquisition, which shows the cruelty of religious institutions.
Yeah.
So here we have a professor from Woodhouse College. She's going to tell us a bit about society and the impact that Gothic novels had.
Genre is often used by writers to make controversial statements regarding society at the time. Taboos are usually explored to critique and challenge society's typical roles and stereotypes. Some examples of recurring themes include aristocracy, feminism, and homosexuality.
So, how did the ideas in Gothic novels provoke the reader at the time?
The whole point of Gothic is to create shock, to cause some sense of horror in not only the characters but also in the reader. The easiest way in which they could do this in the 19th century was to almost demonstrate societal construct, to hold up a mirror to the face of society and show the audience the darkest, most uncomfortable aspects.
So can you give us any examples of this? Because that was really fascinating.
Well, in Jekyll and Hyde, Stevenson deconstructs many societal norms and exposes many of the natures of the more perverse sides of 19th century London. From the use of good gentlemen, a secret murderess, to doctors who are shaken to the roots as they see the monstrous Hyde, Stevenson explores many 19th century taboos to shock the reader.
Oh, didn't see you there. I'm here today with Laura Dubois, a feminist writer, who's going to be talking to us about Gothic and feminism. How women presented in Gothic text.
Novels, the female is often presented as either meek, innocent, virginal, young girl, or a fallen woman, seen as a sinner or morally corrupt. In novels like Wuthering Heights, the young female protagonist is used to demonstrate the corruption of that which is pure in society. However, some novels, such as Frankenstein, use the character traits of the stereotypical woman to possibly challenge the traditional gender roles of the 19th century.
Well, that was a very interesting perspective, but do you think the reversal of gender roles was a way of normalising 19th century taboos?
Definitely. By switching gender roles in Gothic literature, authors are teaching the readers that accepted norms are capable of change, and through this, much of Gothic literature has opened people's minds to new ideas, such as feminism in this case.
Well, you guys really helped us because we learned a lot from you guys.
Who would have thought that Gothic literature would be so interesting?
Literature is so much more fun than further maths.
So like the characters in Gothic lit, these kids learned a lot. As Frankenstein monster said, no guilt, no mischief, no malignity, no misery could be found comparable to mine. Like he learned how to be remorseful, these kids learned a lot about Gothic lit. So I've been your host, Jermaine Leafington, broadcasting from BB Castle of Otranto. Have a good night.